Good morning, class 6. In today's computer class, we shall continue discussing on chapter 5, presentation, visual effects. In today's session, we shall discuss about slide master, custom animation and slide transitions. The slide master is the topmost slide in the order of slides that provides common information to all the slides in a presentation. Sometimes we may need to provide common information like background, color, fonts, effects, along with the slide layouts in a presentation, so we can define them at one time in the slide master. The advantages of using a slide master are: we can make universal slide changes at one time. If the presentation has a lot of slides, then slide master makes it easy to manage that. Creating and editing a slide master affects and improves the look of the entire presentation. So for accessing the slide master view, we need to click on the view tab and then click on the slide master option, which you see has been circled here. This will give us the slide master view where we specify the effects we require for the slides. Custom animation. Animation effects help us to highlight the important parts of our presentation, and through these effects, slideshows are made more interactive. So through custom animation, we add different visual effects to a slide to make it more meaningful. By default, an animation for any object of a slide is set to work on a mouse click. We can, however, change that option. Slide transition is a special effect applied to a slide when it moves on to the next slide in a slideshow. It determines how the current slide would switch on to the next. So for adding a slide transition, we need to click on the Transitions tab. After setting the specifications for a slide transition, clicking the Apply to All option applies the same transition effect to all the slides. Once we have added the animations and the transition effects to our slides, we are now ready to show the presentation to the audience. The slideshow view displays the slides to the audience and communicates our ideas effectively through this presentation. For starting the slideshow, we have the option Slideshow to run it. The shortcut key to start the slideshow is F5. If we want to show our presentation from the beginning, we select the From Beginning option. If we want to continue the slideshow from the selected slide as the current slide, in that case we select From Current Slide option. Before presenting the slideshow, it is necessary to ensure that the contents of the slides are correctly put and also the effects are correctly done. To check animations, the Play From button shows the preview of the animations of the slide. If we want to check the transition effects of the slides, we should select each slide and click the Preview button to see the corresponding transition effect. We can also import data from other applications. Word file, Excel file, etc. and data from other applications can be not only imported to PowerPoint presentation but can also be edited if required. In order to include the data from other applications, we need to open our PowerPoint presentation and select the slide where we want to include the data, then switch to the Insert tab. From there we select the Object button. As you can see in the picture, it's highlighted. In that, once we click the Object button of the text group, the Insert Object dialog box appears where we select Create From File Radio button. This will bring us the Browse button, using which we get the browse window to find the file in our computer. Then we select the file and click on OK. The insert object will appear on the screen that will show the entire path of that source file. Finally, clicking on OK will insert the content of the selected file onto the selected slide. To edit the contents of, say, a Word file which we have imported, we can double click on the file and do the task. Let us now see some demonstrations regarding the slide master, custom animation and slide transitions. Let us now see a quick demonstration to use the slide master under the slide master view. For this, we need to open a blank presentation as you can see here, and then we can access the slide master button. We can also use an existing presentation and edit a slide master view if so required. So in this demonstration, we'll continue with the blank presentation only. So we click on View tab. Within that, we find in the group master views, we have got the options where slide master option is also present here. For me, the options are given side by side. It depends on the version of MS Office installed in your computer. You may also have the options given one below the other. So from these options, I select slide master. Once we click the slide master button, we get the predefined arrangements for each of the types of layouts we have for the corresponding slides, as you can see, for title slide layout, for title and content layout, and so forth. So for each of these layouts, we can do our own changes in the design, right from inserting different placeholders, also changing themes if we so want, change the background styles, and so on. Once we do the changes we require for a particular layout, we need to close the master view, and then we can include the corresponding slide with the new layout. So let us see how this is done. Let me select this particular layout where we only have the title placeholder and nothing there below. Here I am going to add the placeholder to add a clip art. If you see, by default the layout where we have only the title on top usually has no other placeholder. So we are adding a placeholder there to include a clip art. If I want, I can include one more. Let me include one more. So one more box is here to include some chart. So these two placeholders, these two boxes are going to allow me to add in a clip art or a chart respectively if I want for the corresponding layout of title only. Once I'm done with this, we can save the file and then close the master view. Now in the original presentation, if I add a new slide for the title only layout, as you can see, I get these two placeholders because I had edited the slide master for the corresponding placeholders. And if I click on this, the first box is supposed to include a clip art. So I can include any particular clip art I get. And the second one is supposed to insert some chart. If I want, I can insert some charts, as you can see here. So now based on this, every time I include a slide for the title only layout, it is going to also provide me the space or the placeholders to include corresponding clip arts and charts, which was not there before. So in this way we can change the definition of the slide master. Now we shall look into custom animation and slide transition. So for this I have got an existing PowerPoint opened. As you can see here, the presentation is open here. I already have some objects, that is pictures and some placeholders already present in my presentation in the various slides. Now let us see how to do custom animation. For this, remember that custom animation can be done for any of the placeholders or pictures or any shapes or any other objects that might be present in your presentation. For adding an animation, we need to click on the Animations tab. So, when we click on the Animations tab, you see all these options are initially inactive. For that, we have to select an object for which we want the animation to be added. Suppose I want the animation to be added for this simple placeholder, that is the text box where the title Disney Toons has been typed. And I add in the animation for this as fly in. This is an entrance type of animations. If I click on this down arrow, we find there are various types of animation effects which are given, and they are grouped under various heading: entrance, emphasis, exit, and various motion paths. I can also select any of these other options if I so require. So I have already selected one particular effect here. As you can see, there is a number here, and also in the corresponding animation pane we have got the effect listed. By default, this animation pane is not visible. If we want to see it, we need to click on the animation pane option here. Then only this window appears. Now we also need to set when this action would take place. For that, we have the box here, start, as you can see on top. And for that, start, I have got three options. On click, that means when I do a mouse click, or with the previous action, or after the previous action of a presentation, this particular effect is going to take place. So I want this effect to happen with previous. That means as soon as this slide gets loaded. Let's go to another slide. Here I have one picture as well, along with some placeholders and also a shape. For each of these, I want to add an animation effect. So let me add the animation effect of fade for this placeholder. For the picture, let me add the animation effect wheel. This is an entrance effect, as you can see from the color. Green color here means their entrance effects. If I want to add further animation to the same picture, I can do that. Add an animation means entrance animation I have already done. Now I need to add maybe an effect for emphasis. Okay, I have added this. And now let me add some animation, entrance animation for the shape. So let me take swivel. Okay, so as soon as I add any of these effects, you can see that they show me the preview as well. Now to change the order, reorder them, or do any modifications with any of these animation effects, we need to see the corresponding options. We can change an entrance effect if we want. We can also customize the effects if we require from these options which are given here. So let me reorder or make a proper sequence of these animations. For the first one, I need to start along with the previous action. That means as soon as my slide gets loaded. So let me click on that with previous. The second, that is entrance effect for my picture, that is this one. For that, I need it to occur along with the previous or after the previous. That means after this placeholder is loaded, then the picture is supposed to appear. The second effect needs to start after previous. By default, that is already selected because it is the effect for the same object. Now for this shape, I want this shape to appear after previous. Okay. Now if I see for the transition effects mean the way how the subsequent slide is supposed to be loaded onto the screen in a slideshow. So for that, I need to select the slide where we want to add the effect. Just like for animations, we have the animations tab. For transitions, we have the transition tab. So there are two slides here which I want to have some special transitions. By default, none is selected for a transition of a slide. We can select any of the transitions given here. If we drop down, we see there are various effects we have. This is one effect we have got here. Okay, so for these two slides, I have added two effects, as you can see. Alright, now let us do a slideshow. I have similarly added different kinds of animations and transition effects for the rest of the slides, and we will now see the effects from the slideshow. So let me start from beginning. So this was the transition effect for the first slide. As you can see, the effects for the second slide, animations have been shown here accordingly. The next slide, transition, then the animations of the corresponding objects which have been present here. Next transition and the corresponding animations for the objects present on the last slide. So this is how we add in various animation effects and also slide transitions for our presentation. We hope you have understood the concepts which have been discussed here. Thank you.